Another issue New Yorkers are facing is food insecurity. Amid rising inflation, many New Yorkers have turned to food pantries for groceries. But for those working at food pantries, meeting the increased demand may not be so easy because of what they say is stagnant funding from the state. We sat down with Natasha Pernicka, who is the executive director of the Food Pantries for the Capital District and the Alliance for a Hunger-Free New York, to learn more. Thank you so much for joining me today, Natasha.
I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, I wanted to get into the state budget. The state budget, as we know, provided funding to the Hunger Prevention Nutrition Assistance Program and Nourish New York, but there was some criticism from advocates and people who work within the sector who feel that the amount of funding isn't necessarily enough. I wanted to get your perspective on that criticism.
Yeah, the Alliance for the Hunger-Free New York is a coalition of food pantries across the state, and I have to say we're very disappointed in the budget this year. Specifically in regards to Hunger Prevention Nutrition Assistance Program, as you said. That program has been a really critical program for food pantries. Not only does it provide funding for shelf-staple pantry items, but we also are able to purchase produce, and it allows for operating costs. I think a lot of people don't realize that pantries actually have operating expenses as well as need funds to pay for food. Most of the food that goes through the food pantry system, pantries actually pay for. It's not just relying on food drives and donations. Unfortunately, over the past couple years, food inflation has drastically risen. In fact, it's risen over 9% over the past several years. So food inflation has been much higher than typical inflation. So not only is it impacting people in their own households, which is causing more people to turn to food pantries. Across the state, we're having historically high service levels in our food pantry system. So the disappointment is that this year's budget for hunger prevention nutrition assistance has a very small increase. It's a little bit over 2%, but it's essentially stagnant or really a net loss if you consider the purchasing power that has been decreased due to inflation, at the same time having increased service levels. So really, this state budget, in our opinion, is negligent in addressing the current crisis that we're facing.
And what were your conversations like with the executive chamber and members of the legislature about the need to support food insecurity and food pantries?
I think that, this was our first year to be more active in the budget process for the state budget. And we were able to build some relationships with, assembly members, senators, and within the governor's chamber. I have to say that the disappointment is that I don't feel like we have a real champion who understands the charitable food system and where we are to fill the gaps, especially when government programs are not being invested in, even from a federal level. Right? SNAP benefits are down. We have people who get $28 a month for SNAP. $28 a month doesn't go very far. So people are turning to food pantries. And I think for a lot of folks who don't understand the charitable food system, they're like, well, just go to a food pantry, just go to a food pantry. Well, what's happening is more and more people are just going to a food pantry, and we need real dollars, real investments in order to make sure that people have the dignity of having healthy food. I think, we're building relationships. My hope is for the legislators and the governor and her staff to take a deep dive in understanding how can we all work together to move towards a hunger-free New York. One of the things that we would love for the governor to take on is, let's make New York one of the states that values food as a basic human right. The United States does not recognize food as a human right. However, we know that Maine is the first state in the United States to adopt food as a human right. And I would love to see the state dedicate resources to bring us all together, because it's not just food pantries. The state is investing and moving the needle on universal free healthy meals for children, but they didn't hit that mark this year either. While they sustained the funding from last year, they're still not committed to all children having access to healthy school meals. This year, we did not see the state provide supplemental SNAP incentives, which was also a disappointment. Nourish New York is another great program that the state invests in. It's a real win-win for our New York State agriculture and producers. And that, again, fell short of what our hopes were, because that Nourish New York allows food pantries and food banks to purchase fresh produce, dairy, and meats from New York State producers. So it helps our economy here, and the dollars stay in New York. And we were very disappointed that that didn't hit the mark that we felt would be more appropriate to support our charitable food system in making sure people in the community have access to healthy food.
And do you see a path forward in the weeks left in the legislative session? We know that a lot of the policy issues are addressed in the budget, but there still is room outside of the budget negotiations to sort of push through legislation. So do you see a path forward?
Well, there were some legislative add-ons to HIP, NAP, and Nourish New York. We are working on setting up meetings with senators and assembly members, and we will reach out to the governor's office as well. We want to make sure that food pantries, the frontline emergency food providers in the neighborhoods, have access to the resources so that they can make their own purchasing decisions. We need to make sure that we're having the conversations now, because this isn't, we don't expect a quick fix, but we do know that the wealth disparities, it's not just in New York, it's across the country, will continue, and more people are falling short of having enough resources. So I think we need to be forward thinking as a state in how we're going to address food security. There is the New York State Hunger and Food Policy Council, run out of New York State's Department of Agriculture and Markets, and I think that's a great place to have these conversations. But we really know that the budget speaks the priorities, and this year hunger was not a priority for our state, and it's disappointing. But I believe that collectively we can work together to come up with some real budget and programmatic solutions over a 3 to 5 year period where we can become a state that truly invests in food security for our population here.
And what would those solutions look like in the years to come?
It's a combination of making sure that SNAP benefits are increased and easy to access for people. SNAP's an important program because it gives the individuals and families the dignity of making their own choices about what foods they're used to eating or their kids will eat. I have very picky kids. People would like to go to a grocery store and shop and choose the things they're used to eating instead of relying on the limited inventory in food pantries and food banks. Other areas for the people who are still falling short and do need to turn to the charitable food system, the Nourish New York program is an incredible opportunity again. So it not only invests in our local New York State producers, but it also gets healthy and fresh food out into the charitable food system. The universal school meals is essential. That's a no-brainer. We know that kids need access to food, and it's also important to reduce the stigma of free school so that all kids feel comfortable without having the stigma of being a free lunch kid. Those are some areas. Also, WIC benefits, improving access. I do know the state has plans on making public benefits easier to navigate. However, the state has been talking about it for years and years. So maybe we can put some pressure on moving that system forward to make it easier for people, because if people are relying on federal assistance that gets through the state, having an easy way to apply. We are excited about the summer EBT program that's coming through federal. However, this new way of summer EBT does require some people to apply for the program. And there's a really quick turnaround this year. So I think, inventorying all of the food-related programs, congregate meal sites for older adults, and home delivered meals for older adults and food as medicine. So I'm like, there's a lot of different solutions. So it's making sure that all of the solutions that are great programs have the adequate funding for the populations that they're meant to serve. So that's number one. What do we need for all of those programs to have enough funding for all of the people who are eligible to participate in the programs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a starting point.
Well, certainly an important issue. Unfortunately, we have to leave it here for now, but we thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us about this today.
Great. Thanks so much for having me today.
And we were speaking with Natasha Pernicka, Executive Director of the Food Pantries for the Capital District and the Alliance for a Hunger-Free New York. And for more information on food insecurity in the state, you can visit our website. Again, that's at nynow.org.